Swiggy Exclusives presents Spotlight, a conversation with Swiggy's top restaurant partners and their secret recipe for success. Hosted by illustrious chef, fervent foodie and inventor of the world-famous Goila butter chicken, Saransh Goila, who is also renowned for being featured on MasterChef Australia. Watch him in conversation with our top partners.
If you have a sweet tooth, today's episode will take care of all those cravings because we have the co-founder of Thickshake factory, Ashwin, here with us. Ashwin, a pleasure to see you. What I really want to know from you is that how did you come up with the idea of a shake brand, a brand that's only driven by shakes, and how is it such a big success story today?
First of all, what is your favorite shake?
I'm very clear about my aspirations in life. Chocolate. Anything chocolate, whether it's malted or dark.
So my brother Ashwin and I started this brand together. So the idea came to us when we were abroad and we had a milkshake, it was a regular milkshake. And a milkshake that we tasted there and the definition that we were comparing of what the milkshake was here was in stark difference.
And you're right. From my childhood, I can think of only going to the fruit juice wala and having that milkshake.
Right. So that was how the perception of milkshake was. But when we had something called a milkshake and something which was much more premium, we realized what the Indian market was actually lacking. I was still in college when we did the background research and all, and we even launched the outlet while I was
You drink a lot of shakes too.
I was the one who made all the recipes and everything like that.
Amazing.
Yeah, I'm somewhat of a foodie and I used to like indulging myself in desserts, and that's what I thought was an advantage for me. I can probably do a blind test of Coke and Pepsi, so I thought, let me figure out how to make our shakes better than, focusing on something else.
So you really took something that you said was not created by you guys, but it's still original because nobody was really taking a shake brand pan-India, and that's what you've been able to achieve. So what's your inspiration? How did you end up, after pursuing MBA, started a shake brand? I want to hear about that.
While I was at MBA, for me to take that decision of joining my business full-time without taking up a placement job was definitely something difficult at that point of time. And my parents were a real inspiration because they really supported me, saying that it's fine if you really want to, if this is what you really want to do in your life, then you don't have to do it. The reason why it's a premium Thickshake brand is because we control the raw material, the basic raw material. We manufacture our own ice creams. So before we even started the first store of Thickshake factory, we first finalized the recipes of the ice creams. We made them more premium. We brought in a lot of premium brands and we tried making them into shakes using the blenders that were available back then. But somehow we never got the taste that we had on our minds. Back then I was actually interning with Amul during my MBA, and that really helped me focus my efforts on getting the product right for the ice creams. And once we could get a really premium and creamy ice cream out there, we could then blend it into shakes, and I was tasting every single variation of vanilla, around 40-50 variants of vanilla.
I love the fact that how you said you had to backtrack, work on the core of the product, which is actually the ice cream,
Right.
which a lot of brands would try to outsource and then make a shake out of it.
Correct.
Raw material and the processing is a great stage to look at a product when you're creating something new. So do you feel that that's one of your key USPs?
Absolutely. We focused on the thickness aspect of it, and then we came up with the name of the Thickshake factory. And
Which is your favorite thick shake?
my favorite thick shake would be Superman Secret Shake, which is vanilla, honey and muesli. And I like anything with coffee as well, ice cream blended with coffee.
That's a classic. And if you had to pick on one such shake from your menu that you feel is underestimated, that people don't order it enough but they should.
So my favorite shake is actually quite under-ordered.
If you had to pick up that one challenging moment in scaling up this business, in making Thickshake factory what it is today, what would that be?
So initially back then when we wanted to franchising in food and beverage for an Indian brand was not really a major thing back then. So it was only the international brands like McDonald's, KFC
Correct.
and Domino's. So it was really a challenge back then, but then later on we figured that if we got our agreements right in place and then all the terms and conditions were laid down, we had to backward calculate the profitability of the franchisee and the return on investment of theirs. So finally we could figure out one particular model where the stakeholders are happy and customers are happy. And
So how do you maintain that quality? Is it the ice cream?
quality with respect to the product is definitely because of the ice creams, and because we produce the ice creams, there's no way people can actually go wrong. So we have 10th class dropouts working at the outlets, and people have not even reached the 10th class or whatever, but still they are given a set of recipe sheets and they just have to add this, that and that, and they end up making a very good shake which people would love. So we remove the scope of human error from that affecting the product quality.
What inspires you, or what do you enjoy the most about going to work?
I'm from Hyderabad, and when I visit cities like Bangalore or Chennai, where I don't have too many friends, but when I go talk to them, they have friends who hang out at Thickshake factory. So when we hear things like this, or when we see check-ins of friends and their friends, it really makes us feel happy that without our direct marketing or promotion, people are actually visiting these stores.
If I'm not wrong, you have about 82 outlets.
Actually, it's 85.
85. So you have 85 outlets across how many cities?
We are currently in 15 cities,
And
14 in India and 1 in Los Angeles.
That's amazing. So you also have some international presence. So how do you choose your locations?
So initially we used to choose them based on where the opportunities lie, and now we have a proper way of entering a city. We have a proper plan where when we enter a city, we divide a city into different geographies, where would be a good enough spending power, where would be the ideal target audience, because our target audience would be somewhere around 13 to 25, 26 years of age.
Correct.
And we need to find areas where most of these people are concentrated on, and people who usually have more disposable income, and where there are some good near eateries and brands nearby, so that people already are in a habit of eating out and a new brand comes along. So that's a usual strategy for a new city as well.
Do people order in shakes?
Absolutely. I mean, we are tied up with Swiggy, and in Hyderabad we've been exclusive with Swiggy in the last 7 months, and we've got amazing results after being exclusive, because the kind of support that Swiggy extended to us, it was more like a symbiotic relationship where both the brands grew together. So back then a lot of restaurant guys were like, how can one app come and why will people order there?
Correct.
Why should I give him commission? And I would rather have my own telephone line, let them call
Let me buy my own bike, let me get my own rider.
Exactly. So
yes,
that was
all
how
of
it was.
Correct.
But then Swiggy came and changed the plan by aggregating all of them and having their own delivery fleet, which was a major issue. So it was great to be associated with Swiggy back then, and the orders just keep growing and growing.
I like how you're so happy. You're like, oh, let's just keep growing.
Absolutely.
And that explains your relationship with Swiggy. You're also exclusively tied up with them, as you said. It started from Hyderabad. Do you plan to take that exclusive thing to other cities as well?
Yes. So we starting from August 1st, we just started being exclusive pan-India. So the main idea was to reach as many customers as possible and tap into as many new customer base as possible, because there are a lot of people who love our shakes, but for them to love it, they need to try it first.
Why do you want to be exclusive?
See, of course, there is competition in online aggregator space as well, in food delivery platforms. But I feel that being exclusive is something like a sacrifice that a brand does in order to get more benefits in reaching out to its customers in a more better manner. Of course, I can be present in all the competition, and also I can be present in 100 other websites, or I can start my own fleet. But the point is, we need to be focused enough, because what we've learned in the past is focus is the key to achieving success. And we are a brand where the focus is only on shakes.
What does future look like for the brand?
So we're going to scale up in a lot in 2019. So there's going to be around 300 outlets coming up in 2019. I mean, 300 is the total number of outlets we would touch into.
So you can go anywhere in India and you'll get a Thickshake.
Absolutely, that's the idea.
Dream.
And we want to be a global chain, so we just don't want to limit ourselves to catering to the Indian market, and we also want to expand. So that's where a bigger pride comes in.
While you're talking about cold shakes, I have some hot questions for you. I have a hot, fiery, rapid fire.
Bring it on.
First outlet.
Manjeera Mall, Hyderabad.
First shake.
First shake I drank or first shake I sold?
Okay, both.
Chocolate.
And sold?
Belgian chocolate.
Which is a better food city? Delhi, Bangalore, or Mumbai?
Yeah, I have to be cute and I have to tell Hyderabad because that's the place where we get the best biryanis.
Okay.
So I think yes, Hyderabad.
Cool. I would have picked Delhi, of course.
Of course.
What do you prefer, delivery or dine-in?
Depends on the mood actually, and depends on the company and what I want to eat.
First employee.
His name is Arun. He joined as a team member and now is heading the training.
First compliment.
Probably must have come from the family, I don't remember.
But first customer compliment.
When we initially did market research, people were like, don't go with the shake brand, add food also.
Yeah.
So when we first started selling the shakes, first
You know, there's a saying, यहाँ ज्ञान ना बांटे, यहाँ सब ज्ञानी है. So we all get a lot of ज्ञान from all across. So I'm very happy that you have managed to.
So I think, yeah, it's good that it has finally paid off. Probably the example would not have been so apt if it didn't. But then when the initial store got opened and there were customers pouring in, they really loved the shakes because we had to tell them, we had to convince them, you know, that shake was worth 150 rupees. And back then it was a big deal, you know, for a premium.
You pay 150 rupees for a shake?
40 rupees for a milkshake was more than enough at that point of time. So we had to convince them. And when they tasted it, they just loved it, and you know that made our day, and we clocked a huge amount of sales as well. When Swiggy had entered, it was a challenge for us because we were considered to be the thickest shakes and thick shakes, and that came from the ice creams and from being maintained at minus 18 degrees centigrade and all. We did a lot of trials along with Swiggy initially to see how long would we be able to serve it without affecting the quality of the product. And the packaging was always meant for delivery as well, because all we had to do was just cover the spillages. But now one of the things that Swiggy is offering us is super last mile delivery or something. They're actually increasing the radius of our restaurants from 4 kilometers to 8 kilometers. So when that is happening, we are now working on a different kind of a packaging which will ensure
Last longer.
Yes, which will last longer and ensure the consistency and quality of the product.
It's amazing, right? How technology and logistics can make you also plan your vision or extend your vision for the brand. I've had a lot to learn from this chat. If you had to bottle your thoughts and not a shake and tell people 3 key things from your journey, 3 things that you feel any entrepreneur or person who's already running a food business should consider or give a thought to, what would those 3 things be?
I think one should be looking for sustainability, because I see a lot of food startups with thought of starting up, but there is not really a huge solid plan about sustaining over a period of years. And I think the second thing for sustainability that you have to focus on is the quality of the product, because no matter what, customer is the god, and customers can't be fooled by, you know, with small things.
Mediocre product.
Absolutely. So I mean, they might try it a couple of times, but if the customers really have to stick around, you have to give them a quality product. And the third thing I would say is stakeholders investment. So you have to make sure, I mean, if you're into franchising or if you're using others' monies to help them set up franchises of our brand or something like that, definitely their returns and
you treat them like your own.
Absolutely, because when you spend money, it is not for spending, but you're investing that money so that you'll get your returns back. So the focus should always be on how fast can the franchisees make their money, and that's what we usually look at. So I think these are the 3 things I would ask any entrepreneur to look.
That's amazing, Ashwin. Thank
you
you
so
for being with us here, for sharing your journey. My learning from today's Swiggy Spotlight is that when you are in the mood, just indulge.